Hey guys, Tim from Hustler Minibikes here. In this episode, I'm going to take you through the assembly of this beautiful custom rotary mini bike. This is built for Dennis in Denmark, and it's a two-seater. We've got the Sachs KM48 rotary engine here, colour-matched casings, and I've blacked out the centre. Custom fuel tank. We've got a whole lot of custom parts here. Beautiful handmade aluminium guarding. It's all ahead of us, so stay tuned and we're going to go through this whole thing. Let's take a look at those wheels. It's an 8" by 4.5" wide. Super fat street bike style tyres. Front and rear there. The rear's got a couple of custom billet alloy spacers for the sprocket and the disc. The engine's been fully colour coded, so there's the side housings, pull starter. You can see the contrast there, where I've done the black on the centre. It's going to be pretty cool tied in there. Over here we've got this white bike. This is coming up next, so that'll be the next episode. The exhaust here for the green bike, all in the polished Hypercoat Extreme, which is a ceramic paint, ceramic powder coat rather, inside and out. Okay guys, we're going to start by assembling this rotary engine. I painted this centre core piece black yesterday, and the idea here is that when you look through the gaps in the casings, you see through to the black. It gives it a nice contrast. Hanging out of here is the kill wire, which earths out the coil. So we're going to hook that up to a little key. And then this one here is the high tension lead, which goes to the spark plug. So I've gone ahead and cut some pieces of threaded rod, which I'll be using to pull the casings together, along with some stainless steel dome head nuts, or some people call these acorn nuts. The reason I do this just purely for aesthetics, gives it a really nice finishing touch. These casings are doweled together, so they've got little hollow dowel pins, 2 of them per case. These have been powder coated, and first thing I need to do is just get the powder coating out of those holes. So I've gone ahead and already tapped out all the threaded holes. Just got these dowel holes left to do. So with a 9mm drill, just going to carefully the powder coat's quite thick in these holes because it's 2 coats. It was a coat of the green and then a coat of clear over the top. Just seen one thread down in there that I haven't done. Okay, bring you guys in a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. You'll see I'm working on a rubber mat here on top of this fabrication table. This is good for avoiding any damage on the parts that you're working on, and it's also got the benefit of blocking up these little holes so I don't drop things down them. So, 2 dowel pins. One in there, one in there. Give us a little tap with my mallet. sitting in the centre. Cool thing about these is they can just sit together, and the dowel pins holds everything until you're ready to put the fasteners in. Ooh, she's going to look good. Now on this side, I just need to feed the wires carefully through. So that kill wire goes through its own little hole there. And then the HT lead goes through that big one. That's it. Now I've got 3 long ones and 2 short ones, because there's a few different positions on these engines, and they all have different length bolts. So the short ones go into the blind holes. It's a long one. I just need to jam a couple of nuts on that one there to tighten it up. It's a little trick for winding studs in. You can just jam 2 nuts together and then use them to wind the stud in. Now, we're going to use a spring washer. Check those out. I think these are a great way to finish these off. So up top here, passes right through and we put a nut on both sides. These nuts aren't cheap either, they're 316 grade stainless steel. It's definitely my preference. I've got a marine engineering shop just down the road. That's where I buy all these fasteners from. So I'm using the spring washers obviously so that it won't vibrate loose if it did happen to come loose. It's a good way to go. These don't need to be crazy tight, they're just pinching the casings together. The dowel pins do all the aligning. These engines are an X-generator engine, and they come with a really nice shielded spark plug lead. So this is all braided stainless steel, and it obviously protects everything from abrasion and probably from radio interference. And even the kill wire there has a braided sheath. So we'll be refitting that. In my little pot here, I use this to keep all the fasteners in while I'm assembling bikes. That's all magnetic. It's got a magnet on the base. This one here is from Gear Wrench, but obviously anyone can supply you with one of those at your local store. I've got this little dowel that runs over the wire. Now this needs to tap into that hole. Just grab a little punch. And that forms the little base for this to clamp onto. Braid's actually a bit bunched up. Try and straighten that out a bit. Can be quite funny stuff to work with. It's quite neat the way the earth is run through this though, because it means I only have to run the one wire to the kill switch and then hook the other side up to this. Push the stuff and it expands. Makes it a bit easier to get that wire through. Just get that through the clamp. And then over that. Okay, now with my little flat blade screwdriver, I can clamp that up. That's the kill wire done. Now the spark plug wire. This one's a little more complex. Zoom you out a little bit. So, this one has a threaded gland which screws into the body of the engine. That first bit of nip up. And there we go, we're missing something. This little rubber bush goes in there. Then we can tighten this part up. Okay, now the boot. So there's the boot, fully shielded steel. This is quite neat. So there's a little rubber bush in there. There we go. So that little rubber boot will keep the wire safe through there. Compress the outer, get that to come through. And then I can screw this onto the wire. There's a little screw inside it which screws into the inside of the wire and makes contact with the copper down the centre. And this housing, is that right? Yep. Should have more tension. Shoot, I wonder if that went in there. Yeah, I think it did. These things are just impossibly complicated. Get that back a bit. There we go. Complicated but well made. You've got to give it to them. That's it. And that gets screwed up to there. And that, my friends, is a military grade, highly protected HT lead. Fully shielded. All for a mini bike. That's it. Pretty cool. Right, I think we can move on to the pull starter now, which is a lot of fun. Okay, really not looking forward to this, and the main reason is because of this big recoil spring. It's really painful to put back in. I've put one of these in before and I wound it in the wrong way. That was a bit of a hard lesson. I just had to stop for a second then and just think, am I actually winding this the right way? Right. Sad to see grease all over my new paint, but it'll clean up. That's got to go through there. Come on, buddy. Yes. Now, this has a flat on it, and it needs to go the right way so that the flat is on the outside, so as the cable lays over it, it lays on that flat. So it wants to go like that. And then as it pulls, it goes flat. Okay. Okay, you can see how I've crushed that. I'm just going to go ahead and snip the excess off. The factory actually folds that over like that, which is a good thing to do. So you fold that back on itself and then pull it back through. And go back to the vise. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab that cable. I'm going to chuck my rubber jaws in so I don't damage it. I just want to pull that through. There it is. And we're done. That's the finished pull starter assembly. See how the shoes throw out? Oh, that one was jammed. You see that when I start pulling it, they throw out. So that uses that friction of that disc. It's quite amazing. Well, we are back. We've had lunch. I got the pull starter back together just before I finished there. These do keep popping out. They do that when they tip up, they kind of jam. But when it's in normal use, they don't jam. So I'm ready to bolt this on now. She looks good. She looks real good. Beautiful. I like it. So these are the CNC machined PTO shafts that I sell on my website. You'll find those under the specialised parts tab on the menu. They come with everything you need to install on your KM48 engine, and it allows you to actually bolt a 30 series torque converter directly up to it without any modification. It makes your life easy if you're building a mini bike from home with one of these engines. Of course, on this bike we're not running a CVT, we're running a direct clutch drive. So I've actually modified this by shortening it, and I'm actually running a centrifugal clutch on here. I'm going to check the torque on those. Just let it pull up against the case. We're not putting anything wild on here. I'm just going to go 10 Newton meters. backing plate and spacer ring. So this is included in the kit. There's our M6 by 25 zinc plated cap screws. There is 6 of them. All these fasteners come in the kit, by the way. If you were to buy one, you don't need to worry about all that. Looking good. Starting to look like a real beautiful little unit. I'll say this is definitely the first green one I've ever done, and I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's start looking at the bike now. So, I'll clear the bench and get the bike up there. Beautiful. Alright, it's looking real good, guys. Just give that a good tighten. Yep, it's nice. Alright, wheels are on. Boom, look at that. It's starting to look like a real bike. That is cool. Now we're just got to get that engine in there. Oh well, I think that'll be the end of part 1, guys. Part 2, obviously we're going to put the engine in and we'll go ahead and fit up the drivetrain, get the chain on, guards on, get the petrol tank in there, and then we'll look to do the hand controls, get the brakes on. And she's going to really be taking shape then. Yep, thanks for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. And obviously if you like this video, like and subscribe, and we'll do more videos. Alright, here we go. Putting the engine in. Look how easy it is. Boom. It's in. This looks. Ooh-wee. Man, that is flash.